Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Wapo here, back with a brand new video from Marvel Strike Force. And in this video, you guys, I want to be going over Cosmic Crucible Season 12. For reference, I am sitting at about 1500 Tribunal rating, which puts me at Plat 2, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the level that I'm playing at the moment. Now, I'm 6-0, so I haven't dropped a single fight for the past 2 weeks since Season 12 has started. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about just Season 12 in a nutshell, kind of what I'm seeing in the meta, and hopefully this video can help you guys climb in Cosmic Crucible as well. Now, what I've noticed is that only the first 3 rooms actually do something. So what I mean by that is only the first 3 rooms this season are actually going to impact the fight or maybe change up some counters in a significant way. Rooms 4 through 6 aren't really super impactful. They're kind of free throwaway rooms. So what are those 3 rooms? We have Invulnerable, What You Wish For, and When It Rains. All right, let's jump right into the first room. So room number 1, we have Invulnerable. On offense and defense, Raiders and Skirmisher characters gain an extra 200% extra damage when under 50% health. So this is the main team that I've been seeing in room 1. It's going to be the Annihilers with Super Skrull and Kahhori. Notice some of the ISOs on here. We have Striker on Kahhori, and then we have 3 Raiders on the team with Super Skrull, Gore, and Endgame Thanos. And then we have Fortifier on our Gladiator just to add a little bit of extra survivability and make him just more annoying to kill for my opponent. Now, the 3 in the middle are the most important. You want to have Raider or Skirmisher on these 3 characters. I strongly suggest going Raider just to get all that extra crit damage and crit chance. Now, if you don't have Annihilators and let's say you're in like Silver or Gold and you're still trying to climb, another good option is going to be throwing in your Extreme X-Men here and making sure that Gambit is a Raider as well, so that whenever he gets dropped below 50% health, he can proc the room rules and give him that extra 200% damage and possibly delete the enemy team with his ultimate. So Thanos, Super Skrull, and Gore are going to be the main threats for this room, and then also Gambit as well if you don't have the Annihilators built up. So how do we beat this team, right? It sounds pretty easy on paper. You're going to stun the Gore. You're going to APOC punch the endgame Thanos, right? So the key to beating this team is to not let Thanos proc his passive. If Thanos procs his passive, especially a big Thanos, like if you're fighting like 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds Thanos, that passive, when he gets dropped below 50% health, is going to be devastating. I've seen him one-shot entire 3 diamond teams when he gets pushed below 50% health. So how do we stop this from happening? Well, there's really only one character in the game that's going to be able to do this effectively. Now, there's multiple characters in the game that can do this type of effect where it bypasses passive abilities to be procced, but the most effective one is going to be the Apocalypse Punch. And why is that? Well, Apocalypse Punch ignores Death Proof, and passives that trigger when a character drops below a certain health do not work. So this is the main sort line that prevents Thanos from doing his thing. So bringing in the right composition that has Apocalypse will completely neuter Thanos. All right, so let's go over some teams that can actually counter this particular composition in room 1. The first team, and probably the strongest one on this list, is going to be Black Knight, Old Man Logan, Daken, Nightcrawler, and Apocalypse. Apocalypse is there to remove the safeguard off of the Gladiator. Nightcrawler is there to apply the evade to Old Man Logan, which is super important because Kahhori's passive is going to apply an expose to the controller with the highest focus, which in this case is going to be Old Man Logan. The main reason you don't want your Logan to get an expose is because in Kahhori's passive, enemies with expose cannot be revived. So it kind of shuts down what Logan is really meant to do, which is do a lot of damage, get punched in the face, and then come back. So him not being able to revive kind of sucks. And then Daken is there mostly for the Super Skrull. So Super Skrull is going to go into stealth, and Daken is going to get 60% turn meter when enemies go into stealth. So it's going to allow him to just go really quick, and he's going to do a ton of damage as well. Plus, he's got that synergy with Logan being part of the Mercs for Money team. Logan is obviously here for the flip. So Logan has a flip on his special. He's going to be able to flip the taunt as well as the immunity off of the Gladiator so that you can actually get to the Gore and stun him with your Nightcrawler. Plus, Logan is Logan. He's going to be able to do a ton of damage, but really, you just don't want him to get the expose right off the bat. So that's why you bring in the Nightcrawler. And then Black Knight is actually here, obviously, because he's one of the best pre-taunt tanks in the game, but mostly because he's going to be able to chase the Super Skrull as well as the Kahhori. Chase meaning every time that Super Skrull or Kahhori take a turn, Black Knight is going to retaliate and just do that massive damage as long as he has charges. The next team that actually works is going to be this one right here. It's going to consist of Black Knight, Apocalypse, Tangled Web members, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. Cosmic Ghost Rider is here because he's going to be the controller with the highest focus. So we're hoping that he eats the passive opener from Kahori instead of our 2099. You want your 2099 as big as you possibly can because he's going to be responsible for flipping all of the buffs on the enemy team. Apocalypse obviously there for the safeguard. Weaver is there to apply the stun on the Gore, because again, those are the two things that we want to happen in this fight. You need a character that can stun the Gore, and you obviously want to bring in Apocalypse for the punch. And then the last and final team is actually going to be a team that doesn't require Apocalypse. Now, this team that I'm showing you guys here consists of Black Knight, Old Man Logan, the Tangled Web members, and Ares. Ares is there to serve the same purpose that Apocalypse does. Now, this counter only works if this particular team and this composition is not in room 1. Okay, I repeat, if it's not in room 1. So if you see this team with Annihilator, Sus, Kahori in like room 2, room 3, anywhere but room 1, this counter can work. Okay, moving on to room 2, we have what you wish for. On offense and defense, all characters, when using an ultimate ability, generate 1 ability energy for each enemy. Now, the team that I've been seeing the most, and this is the team that I'm actually running right now on defense myself, is going to be this Extreme X-Men with Dormammu. For me, the reason why this team has worked for me so well is because most of the time in Cosmic Crucible, if you've been playing for any amount of time, anytime you see an Extreme X-Men, you automatically want to use Superior 6 on this team. If your opponent is not careful or they're doing too big of a punch-up on your team, so let's say they have like a 2 million Superior 6 team, they're not going to be able to punch through this Extreme Dorm team. They're more than likely going to be using all of their ultimate abilities because Superior 6 likes to use a lot of ultimate abilities right out the gate. You know, you got Green Goblin Classic with the turn meter rewind. You have Lizard with the with his ultimate as well. So a lot of ultimates are going to be used from the Superior 6 counter. And if they can't kill this team fast enough and they can't control either the Gambit or the Nightcrawler or the Forge or the Dormammu in this room, because again, anytime they use an ultimate, that's going to give 1 ultimate ability energy to this entire team. So Forge is going to ult right out the bat. Dormammu is going to ult right at the bat, and where usually he would special. Nightcrawler and Gambit are both going to ult right out of the gate if they get fed ability energy, which is devastating. Rogue is going to be the only one that's not going to really benefit from these room rules, because you want Rogue to do her special on her opener to get you know, the taunt plus all the extra, you know, buffs that she gets, and makes her super annoying to kill, and you're just kind of stuck behind her. But these 4 other characters that are paired with Rogue have devastating ultimates that, if they get around to them, can really do some damage to your opponent. The other variation that we see on this room is Astral Dorm. So if you have a big Astral, you can stick them here on defense with Dormammu, and it kind of accomplishes the same task. The only problem is that Astral is not as fast as the Extreme X-Men, so Astral can be controlled a little bit easier. But again, if you're doing massive punch-ups, and again, Astral is one of the newest teams with crazy stats. So how do you beat it? You're going to use a counter that has a lot of control and a lot of damage. If you see a Dormammu on defense, anytime that you guys see a Dormammu on defense, and this doesn't apply just to room 2, but to any room in Cosmic Crucible, Black Cat and North Star are going to be your best plug-and-play characters, and they're just there to remove the revives. I personally like Black Cat a little bit more, just because you're not dependent on any particular ability that needs to be used by her. She's going to restrict the revives off of her passive, as where North Star has to get to his ultimate in order to remove those revives. But both are very, very good plug-and-play characters if you see a Dormammu on the other side. Again, Superior 6 will work, but not on big punch-ups. Okay, so that's pretty much all I had to say about room 2. We're going to move on to another topic. Now, we're not going to cover room 3 just yet. I want to talk about a particular team that we have discovered throughout the community this season. Now, I can't really give the credit to anybody because I'm actually not sure who started this. If you guys know who the creator of this team is, please let me know in the comments below. But for now, we're going to call it the Wapo team, because why not? Now, there's another term in the community for this team. It's actually called the Suck and Fuck. Or as Walkin' Hate and I would call it, the Scoop and Poop. So what this team consists of is going to be Void Knight, Cloak, Firestar, Lady Deathstrike, and then your pick of a 5th character. Okay, so how does this team work exactly? Well, I'll tell you. Void Knight is going to group all of the enemies using his ultimate ability and apply an ability block to the primary character. Cloak and Firestar are going to rewind anytime that an offense down is applied while Cloak and Firestar are on the field. Specifically in Cosmic Crucible, they're going to rewind the enemy by, I think, 10%. And then LDS is going to have a massive, massive rewind on her special. That's most of the time going to kill the enemy team. So my suggestion is, if you have a massive Lady Deathstrike, please do yourself a favor and pull her off of defense. I know a lot of people are running her on defense with the Orcus team. Do yourself a massive favor. Make this team, save it, have it in your back pocket, because it is a beauty to watch. And I'm gonna pull up a clip for you guys so you guys can see this in action. All right, so here's the team. This is going to be in stage 4. We're going to be going against full Annihilators. This is our team power. Here's the diamonds. It's about a 700k punch up. 26 turn bonus. Let's check it out. All right, so here we go. We're loading in. We're going to slow it down a little bit. Void Knight's going to go first. He's going to do his ultimate. We're going to suck everybody in. Apocalypse was there to take care of the safeguard so that we can actually land our debuffs onto this Gladiator. Gore's going to take a turn. No problem. Lady Deathstrike goes in with her special, and massive, massive damage coming to Lady Deathstrike. I mean, need I say more? Firestar is going to do her ultimate. It's going to proc the Thanos passive. Again, don't do this in room 1. Apocalypse is going to ult, and that's basically all she wrote. So, the only damage that we took was from the Apocalypse passive that got procced. Okay, and a couple good 5th choices for this team. We have Apocalypse. Apocalypse, really, you want to bring him in if you're doing like a massive punch-up with this Wapo team. Red Hulk is also a really good 5th. He's going to rewind the enemy team some more. Ares, if you need a safeguard removal, and then Black Hat if you need a revive removal. So the 5th choice for this team, the 5th slot, is really just situational. Now, what it's used to counter, primarily I'm going to use this for Astral and then Astral Dorm teams, as well as vanilla Annihilators. So that means just plain old Annihilators. So nothing with Super Skrull, nothing with Mephisto, nothing with Odin, just straight up Annihilators. If you see straight up Annihilators on defense, anywhere outside of room 1, you can use this SNF team or Wapo team and handle your business. Moving on to room number 3, When It Rains. On offense and defense, all characters. When a positive effect is applied to a character, increase the duration of all positive effects on allies of that character by +1 up to a maximum of 3. A couple of the good teams that are good for this room are going to be Infinity Watch, Orcus, Mephisto, as well as a different variation of Illuminati teams. The first team we're going to talk about is going to be the Orcus Mephisto team. How do you beat it? Well, you're going to go ahead and double sack and then use your Night Stalkers or your new warriors into this team. Double sack just means that you have to use 2 sacrificial teams. And the reason why you want to do that is because Mephisto doesn't actually get to apply his packs whenever he has double exhausted on him. So you want to bring in 2 teams that can pull a bunch of abilities, some important abilities. And then if you can get the second sacrifice team to pull the Mephisto ultimate, the follow-up, the third attack, should be pretty simple and pretty easy. You don't have to worry about, Mephisto putting out packs, Mephisto doing his ultimate. You could just go in there with the right counter and clean it up. Now, the one-shot, you can actually one-shot this team with Odin Night Stalkers as well. If you have a lot of offense and you have Odin and you don't need to use Odin anywhere else, you could go ahead and Odin Night Stalkers this, and it should be pretty clean on a one-shot. Okay, and then the other team that we're seeing a lot in room 3 this season so far is going to be this Illuminati with Odin team. There's a couple other variations that I've seen. There's some with Sasquatch, so people adding a pre-taunting tank on this team, which just makes it a little bit more annoying. And how do we beat it? Well, there's a couple different ways. This is going to be a little extensive, so just kind of follow along. How do we beat it? Well, we're going to do an Infinity Watch sack. So yes, Infinity Watch still has a lot of value into the late game. You're going to kill CB, which is Captain Britain, with Moondragon Special, and a Striker ISO class is needed on your Moondragon. Let me show you what the team looks like. It's going to look just like this. You're going to have all 4 members of the Infinity Watch, and we're going to take out Nebula, and we're going to put in Guardian here. Okay? So I've seen other variations with Echo in place of Guardian, and the reason why people use Echo is for the anti-assist mechanic, but Guardian is in here to give us offense up on spawn. He applies that through his passive, so you want that offense up on spawn so that Moondragon gets the offense up, and she's specialing into their Captain Britain with offense up and striker. So you want to make sure that you have striker on your Moondragon when you're doing the sack in order for it to work successfully. Then once you've done the sack attack, you're going to go ahead and follow up with Apocalypse, Vulture, Green Goblin Classic, Slayer, as well as Craven. So it's going to be a 4-piece of Superior 6 as well as Apocalypse. Now, you can one-shot this, and the one-shot counter that I've seen that's pretty reliable is going to be this Odin, Green Goblin Classic, Vulture, Lizard, and Echo. And the ISO classes for these are going to be all Raiders, except for Echo. Echo is going to be a fortifier because we want to keep her alive as long as possible. Okay, Echo again is there for the anti-assist mechanic. And the reason why the anti-assist mechanic is so important, especially when you're fighting into an Odin team, is because Odin's special reads this text right here. If this character has used their basic, counterattack, or assist, you're going to clear all battlefield effects on the enemy side and apply the battlefield effect All Father's Fury to the enemy side. So the way that this is going to play out is you are going to go ahead and basic with your Odin first. So you're not going to open up with the special when it's your turn to go. Their Odin is going to open up with their special. As long as your Odin has not assisted before using their special, then you're at the advantage. So you want to bring an Echo here to stop the any assists from happening from the enemy team. So the key here is that you make sure that you basic with your Odin first. So the very first turn that you take with your Odin, you basic with him, and then the following attack, you're going to go ahead and do the special because at that point, you've already assisted. Now your battlefield effect is going to apply, and you're going to have that massive advantage over their enemy Odin. And if Odin's on defense, the last tip I'm going to give you guys is to run Fortifier to remove vulnerables. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I want to give a huge shout out to the community for coming out and helping me get over 1,000 subscribers. My last video that I put out, which is a Dark Dimension 6, 7, and 8 guide, has just done amazing. I mean, it's my most liked video on YouTube to date, and I just want to give a huge shout out to you guys for helping me accomplish 1K subscribers. My goal for next year is to become an envoy for the game. I've been playing this game for a very long time, but I'm just recently starting to take this YouTube thing a little more seriously. So again, I appreciate all of the support, and please let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, cheers, jeers. Let me know in the comments down below, and if there's any help that you guys need with counters, please let me know, and I'm happy to help. But yeah, until next time, MSFers, I appreciate the support.